3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I don't think a lot of martial artists really are big on slasher movies. It's a dude with a knife, so it's like, all right, if you got a knife, then I pick up a knife, then we're just two dudes with knives. Do you have a cook in the family? And let's say you give this cook a deadline to make hot wings. And you know you need a fire, you need a lot of grease. Now, take someone who does not cook at all and give them that same job. Both people might be a little nervous. Oh my God, the pressure's on, right? But the person who is used to cooking and used to being around that hot fire, cooking, gets too close to the fire, and then the grease pops on them. It doesn't bother them because it's something that they're used to doing. They've done it so much, right? Take someone who has never cooked before, isn't used to being around that hot flame, and grease pops on their ass. There's a totally different reaction. I think the reason why martial artists and people like that don't consider slasher movies that scary is because it's a dude swinging at you. You go to class on Monday, Wednesday, Friday or whatever, you got dudes swinging at you. So it's a much more comfortable for them situation. It's like, okay, I've been here, and you might lose, but it's in your wheelhouse. So slasher movies, for me, mostly comedy. Now, ranking the Friday the 13th movies. Oh boy, coming from me, my very first memory of Friday the 13th. I'm flipping the channels. I knew what channel it was on, so I like passed by that channel and stopped, you know, for a few seconds just to see what was going on. My earliest memory, a scene where Crispin Glover is in a kitchen and he's talking to his friend, and his friend has his pants unzipped and he has his hand through the zipper hole. I was a kid. I was like, what the hell is going on? Seeing that scene, my summation of slasher movies in general was that, oh, this is just Bachelor Party, but with knives. And I didn't consider it a horror movie at all. I just was watching it, and when people die, I'd be like, okay, yep, moving on. Knowing that, now you know some history. Let's rank them. Wow! Coming in dead last, Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. The parts that stick out of this movie, every time Jason is going after the psychic girl, I think her name is Tina, and she starts using her abilities, Jason just stands there, and he's all like, it's a comedy. There's a good kill in there where I believe he like breaks a girl's neck or something like that and then throws her over a TV. I thought that was pretty cool. Nah, Part 7 is hard for me to sit through. I don't ever need to see that one again. But yeah, Part 7 would be coming in very last for me. 11. Jason X. All these movies are pretty rough, but I mean, Jason X, oh my. Jason Goes to Space. It's like a sci-fi movie, sci-fi channel movie. Quality, that's about the quality it is. Not very memorable. There's a kill in there that everybody says is really good, and that's when he takes the girl's, you know, grabs her by the head and then puts her in the, freezes her face, and then bam, and then the face is gone. You know, maybe I'll put a clip of that in there. If you're a fan of these movies, you let a lot of shit slide. I'm a Godzilla movie fan. Godzilla movies are stupid too. I may not like these movies as much as a Friday the 13th fan, but you mod toppers like to let shit slide, that I can identify with because I like Godzilla movies. So I'm not gonna put you down. I will put this movie down though. Jason X sucks. All right. 10! Man, this movie's bad. Friday the 13th, Part 8. It's not any better than Part 10. However, the theme song. I'm ranking it higher based on the theme song alone. I'm not saying it's good. I don't even remember the words, but I like it. Memorable scenes, the boxing match between Jason and Julius. This fight scene is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Julius is a boxer, so he handles it, you know, it's a physical confrontation, and he handles it like a boxer. And at the end, when he dies, he's not even afraid anymore, because it's like, you know what? I just lost a fight. Perfect example right there. Moving on. 9. Part 6, I found out, is a lot of fanatics' favorite. I don't know about casual viewers' favorite, but a lot of people who love the franchise, Part 6 is ranked high for them. It is hard for me to watch Part 6, mostly because it's Part 6. Here's the thing with Part 6. Children show up. It's Part 6. Why the hell are children showing up? I could understand if they showed up in part 1, part 2 maybe. But after all that killing, what parents are sending their kids to this area? And then you're gonna have all kinds of security, right? No? Cops aren't? No. Part 6 is freaking stupid. Whoever wrote this, I'm just like, really? You think now's the time to bring the kids? Now, if you get past all of that, it's got some funny parts. Because the kids are actually kind of funny. I don't like the whole situation with Tommy Jarvis in the movie and the girl that's just trying her best to jump on his bones. And her father, the cop, doesn't believe. It's like, you've had like 1 million kills at this point. Jason, that's why I say part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, those cops at the beginning getting Jason, that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. So yeah, the dumbass cop, the dumbass parents for sending their kids. The movie is so stupid. It's hard. If I try to imagine that, okay, this isn't part 6, this is actually part 1, you know, but it's not. So it's like hard for me to sit through. And yes, it is funny in places. I'll give it that. Next on the list, Friday the 13th Part 3 has great music, and that's about it. Great music. Now, it does have my favorite kill in the whole franchise. Dude walking on his hands and gets freaking bifurcated just through the middle. And then they show that to you later in the movie with his body hanging over that one girl and it's split in half. That is my favorite kill in the whole, because I like to walk on my hands a lot. So I was like, oh, that would be messed up if that happened. But yeah, part 3 with the girl with the convoluted backstory where she, ran into Jason at some point, and it's just like, what? And then you got the motorcycle gang. The overacting from the motorcycle gang was just, part 3 is so much cringe. Any movie where your killer is wearing a mask through the whole movie and never has to wipe sweat out of their eyes or never has to readjust the mask. Well, he did readjust it at one time. No. These simple killers aren't buying masks good enough to stay situated on their face that long. I'm talking the first punch you throw, man, okay, second punch, hold on, okay. Third punch, wait a minute. These ain't regular folk. But that's part 3.
7.
Jason Goes to Hell, which is like basically the last Jedi of the Friday the 13th franchise. It's fun to me, but I understand that it's ridiculous and it shouldn't be in the franchise. Casual viewer, it's got Aaron Gray in it, Wilma on Buck Rogers. Come on now. That's a plus. I hate, what is it, Drayton Duke or whatever? I can't stand that character in the movie. Can't stand him. And I've seen reviews on this and a lot of people like him. I can't stand him. It's got a really good kill in a tent where I think Jason, like, he stabs through the girl and then like, whoosh, or it's either that way or this way. But it's like, oh, all of this is just, and then at the end, Freddy takes his mask to hell and you hear the laugh. And apparently the guy who played Jason in the movie is also doubled as Freddy, and he's the person who, with the glove, pulls his mask down under the dirt. The beginning of Jason Goes to Hell is probably one of the smartest, if not the smartest thing in the whole franchise. The fact that the cops show up and kill him, imagine that.
6.
The original. Part 1 is a simple, it came out in 1980, a simple movie. I think it's fine for what it is and for when it is. A lot of people harp on the fight scene between the final girl and Pamela Voorhees. And I'm gonna be honest with you. See, a lot of people will say stuff about fight scenes and and it's like, okay, but you've never been in a situation, right? I've never been in a situation where Pamela Voorhees was coming after me with a knife. I will say this, but that fight scene, probably one of the more realistic fight scenes in the whole franchise. Why would this girl be doing much else? She's just a camp counselor. I've been around camp counselors. A lot of times camp counselors are, Haven't seen a lot. Let's just say that. Some of them were afraid of me just because I was black. That's what my boss told me. And then you got this woman trying to kill you. You're gonna have adrenaline dumps. I'm surprised, like even if she can lift her arms at all after all those adrenaline dumps, like the slapping or the pushing or whatever, or the barely throwing stuff, that's realistic, y'all. That's realistic. It's also realistic to throw real punches, but I'm just saying, both things can happen. And this, what she did in the first movie with that lame ass fight, is closer to realistic for the type of people we're talking about than Kung Fu would be, I tell you that much, or very much else. It is maybe a little unrealistic that old Pamela Voorhees is as strong as she was in the movie. Did she need a whole lot of strength to do what she was doing? It's more believable than the whole Michael Myers thing with how awesome he was at killing and then how terrible he was when it was just him and Laurie. It's definitely more believable than that. I can watch number one. I really hate that the girl at the beginning, the hitchhiker, died. Man, she was cute too. Ah, yes. The remake is fine. I like it. I like that Jason can go slow and fast in this movie. He actually seems formidable. You don't want to mess with this dude. He's good with a bow. This movie is a little bit like Part 3, where the brother is looking for a sister that who disappeared around Crystal Lake. And this brother is one of my least favorite characters in the entire series. This dude is, first off, look at the size of this dude. All right, he looks like he's about 6'2", 6'3", okay? He looks like he's in shape, all right? There is a scene in this movie where him and I think the guy, the Trent, I want to say is his name. We all know who Trent is. Trent gets a lot of hate in this movie, but Trent is better than this dude in this particular scene. Jason is out there doing his thing. He has murdered one of their friends, and then he's about to murder the black friend. And Trent is like, let's go out there and kick his ass. And the brother is like, no, let's not. He's too strong and all this. Oh, it's too scary. He's all scared and shit. At that point, if you'd gone outside and fought Jason, how many of y'all were there? Trent, there was Trent's girlfriend, there was the brother, there was the girl that the brother was trying to get with, or who was trying to get with the brother. And there was the black dude, he wasn't dead yet. How many people is that? And one Jason. And you talking about, no, let's not. That dude died because of you. Because guess what? At the end of the movie, it only takes 2 of y'all to get rid of Jason. I hate that character in this movie. Trent gets a lot of hate because of a certain sex scene where he is because of some of the dialogue that Trent says during this sex scene. How dare you try to boost that girl's self-esteem? It's ridiculous. But no, I think the remake of the movie is great for what it is. I mean, it's a slasher movie. I think the people of the town actually warned them. You know what also is cool about this movie? The Crystal Lake area is shut down. So in this movie, the town is smart. They shut the area down. Why? Because folk got killed. They didn't then allow more people to just immediately come shack up and then die, and then allow more people to just and then die, and then say, hey, let's let some kids in here this time. Nothing will happen. Oh, look, something happened. That's why this one is as high on the list as it is.
4!
Friday the 13th Part 2. Look here, man. Might be the best one in the series. The final girl is pretty awesome. Favorite backstory. She's a child psychologist. She's able to get into Jason's head. Jason! She's pretty good. I think Amy Steele is her name, but I think Jenny is her name in the movie. In the beginning of Part 2, Jason goes and kills the girl from Part 1. I think that whole scene could have been taken out. I do like the fact that the girl from Part 1 dies, though, because one thing I don't like is, okay, if you're gonna have just a camp counselor or say a babysitter survive your first slasher movie or whatever horror movie, that doesn't mean that person needs to be the main protagonist to come back every single time. She's a camp counselor. Call the cops. She's a babysitter. Or maybe now she's a 60-year-old babysitter. Call the cops, because we saw Part 1. She can't even fight. However, in that scene, all you see is Jason's legs at the beginning. I don't know if you knew this. I know Friday the 13th fans know it. That was a woman's legs. Walking in the Rain. So your very first shot of Jason in any of the Friday the 13th movies is a woman. Isn't that cool? The movie is set 5 years later from the first. Villains do lie. So if his mom was lying about him dying and all that stuff, then, you know, he's obviously grown now. Living off the land. He's got a bag with one hole for an eye. Any slight movement, you ain't gonna see anything. The nerdy guy is, I think his name is Tim. You think he's gonna be a bigger part of the movie, and then he just pieces out, and he's able to survive. We don't see him again. I think that's pretty cool, subverting some expectations. I like that there's more shots of the town and a little more interaction with the people. I think it's paced pretty well, and I think it's shot well, and I think the characters feel more real. So I do like that. Did Jason kill everyone with the back of the machete in this movie? The girl who's attracted to the guy in the wheelchair, they have banter back and forth. They have a little, not, I wouldn't say character development, but nice scenes together. And then they die, of course. There is a cop in this movie. Imagine that. Sure, he dies, but damn it, he tried. I think one of the best parts from the first movie is that the girl couldn't fight. She's just a camp counselor, and we don't see her doing anything before that, so I like that she couldn't fight. In this movie, one of my favorite scenes, if not my favorite scene in the movie, is the fact that Jenny pees her pants. There's a scene where she's under the bed hiding from Jason, and you see urine because she is so scared that she peed her pants. That is unusual. Hollywood likes to make certain people look real strong. They've always done that throughout the history. And making the final girl pee her pants like that, it's a bold move, Cotton, and I love it. And she fights through it, powers through it, and she's able to trick Jason because she's with the psychology and get the upper hand and wins. I like that. I think part 2 is a solid movie. And this was a tough choice. Rewatchability and just fun, man. Freddy versus Jason. I consider it more of a Freddy movie, but since Jason's in the title and he's in it, I'm ranking it. And I'm putting Freddy versus Jason next. That movie is so much fun for me. Jason's more of like a Terminator. He's a little bit slower in this one, but it still feels like Jason to me. I like that he's much stronger in this one. He fights Freddy. You know, I mean, I can get more into it when I do a Nightmare on Elm Street countdown. But as far as Jason goes, he has a lot to do as far as kills, but at the same time, he doesn't have a whole lot to do because he's just like kind of a lumbering monster. The fight at the end, when Freddy gets pulled out of the dream and he notices Jason standing there, and that look on his face, that's my favorite part of the scene because there's that guitar riff as well. It may be dated or whatever, the music, but hey, look at the sideburn. I was there in the kitchen. No, that fight goes hard in the yard, dog. And it actually is in the yard. People make fun of Kelly Rowland for some of the things she said to Freddy. Yeah, that was messed up, the things that she said. I'm gonna tell you like this. If me and you are in the forest and we are being hunted by a dream demon and you want to distract that dream demon from killing me, I don't care what you say. We'll settle that if we survive. I don't care what you say, so that we can do what we gotta do, or whatever. And then Jason wins at the end-ish. Love, 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 love Freddy vs. Jason. Might be the most rewatchable. The next one on the list, yeah, because we're down to 2. And one of those 2 is one that a lot of people say, what the hell? I'm gonna tell you like this. Coming in at number 2 is Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. Man, when I was a kid, Part 5 was my favorite for the longest time. Why? Reggie the Damn Reckless. A slasher movie. And you got a little black kid that survives. Not only that, but he was cool. I liked Reggie. Now here's where what separates me from like hardcore fans. Hardcore fans, I understand why you would be mad that Jason's not in it. For us casual fans, we saw Jason get hacked up in Part 4. So we know there's no way Jason could be in the next one. Okay, so take it to the Godzilla. Well, if I see Godzilla die in a movie, damn it, and they make a sequel, it better be Godzilla. So I completely understand where the fanatics would come from. Copycat killer, I am down like a flat tire with that. Also, cops. oh my God, cops kind of give a little bit of a damn in this movie. All these people got killed around here. Maybe it's Jason. I think a cop actually says that in the movie. Why can't we get more of that? That's one of the reasons why a lot of these movies suck to me. Look at Jaws, for instance. Sheriff Brody fought one shark in Jaws. In Jaws 2, didn't take much convincing, did it? He was ready to go. In most of the other movies, folks is visiting Crystal Lake, okay? From somewhere else, from smarter areas of the world. Here, we're dealing with locals. And in part 5, we see that the locals, Ethel is my favorite character in this damn movie. Ethel is fantastic.
Would you shut the fuck up?
She don't give a damn. Give me Ethel all day. But yeah, you look at these people and it's like, oh, well, no wonder people, no wonder. Because this town is full of, but the cops do bring it up. That takes you higher than most of these movies. In part 6, the cop was, nigga, so fleshing out of the town. Plus for part 5. We get to see all types of people get murdered in this movie. Jason's just like everywhere, killing everybody. They make the most of each scene. The 2 greaser guys, y'all just coming in to get killed. They made the most of that scene. Girl in the diner and her crackhead or cocaine head boyfriend. Great jobs all around. Even though, I mean, okay, they may not be Oscar-winning performances, but damn it, Reggie's brother Demon. Miguel Nunez, Joanna Man. He's been everywhere, and he is fantastic in this. Now, I will say, even as a kid, I knew the tropes. I know a lot of people are like, oh, ooh, baby, all that, and they love that shit.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh, baby.
Nah, man. Yeah, as a kid, I was like, what you gonna make him do next? Dance? You got black folk in here, you got them singing and crying. So I didn't like that, but I love Miguel. So having him play Reggie's older brother, that knocked a fucking home run. The dancing girl, that dance she does, everybody talks about that dance, memorable. Kung Fu Tommy. That was a ball that was dropped. They should have let him fight Jason. I think he would have beat Jason's ass because Jason, we find out, is just Roy, the ambulance driver. Now, we don't know the backstory on Roy, okay? But he ain't supernatural. So Tommy might have whooped his ass if they got into an actual fight. Of course, you give Roy a weapon. Okay, now we're balanced out, right? Now we're even. Pam's cool. Interesting choice, the white t-shirt in the rain with the child and the immense hugging, the glory that is Reggie. He gets overlooked. One of my favorite characters in the whole series. So yeah, part 5, definitely number 2. I can watch it anytime it comes on. It is stupid entertaining for me. Part 4 is my number 1, okay? But good God, part 4 is sleazy. Everybody is a horn dog. With part 4, takes place it starts the same night that part 3 ended, and then I guess it goes into the next day, right? The brother of one of the girls in part 2, I want to say, maybe it was 3, is hunting Jason. His sister's been missing for like, I don't know, a day or 2. It should have been called like Friday the 17th or some shit. And the one character you have with a little bit of meat on her bones, they kill her immediately. With the girl with the banana on the side of the road, the hitchhiker. How can you not like the Jarvis family? The Jarvis family is awesome. I like Trish. She's not anything special, really, but because she's part of that family and because of how much she loves her brother and you can see it and stuff, and Mama's fine. Tommy is awesome. Tommy and Reggie, man. I think Reggie in 5 played a convincible child to me, and Tommy in 4 played a convincing child to me. Especially, of course, and everybody points this out, they ain't wrong, when he's peeping Tom, that scene nailed it. Crispin Glover and his friend, they get a lot of screen time. I like those 2 characters. I think Crispin Glover is a treasure. Charlie's Angels, loved him as the thin man in Charlie's Angels. And he's not a dead fuck. Well, he's dead. Fuck. Part 5 has more memorable characters than part 4 does. To me, I do know that Judy Aronson is in part 4. I had a huge crush on Judy Aronson. She was the brunette in Weird Science. And she was in American Ninja. Jason gets hacked up. I think part 2 might be the best one in the series as just a movie. But as a Friday the 13th movie, part 4 is gonna be my choice for the best one. It's ridiculous. There are things that don't make sense because it's a slasher movie and that's how they go. So that's a plus, right? Good characters. Favorite final girl? Reggie the Reckless is my favorite final girl. Actual final female character. Jenny from Part 2. So anyway, that's my ranking for the Friday the 13th franchise. I hope I didn't piss anybody off. Hey, look, I ain't got, you know, thousands and thousands of subscribers. I don't even have 100 subscribers. But the people I got, man, I appreciate y'all. And maybe we'll get some friends to trickle in. You know, like, share, and comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And we'll get back to doing fight scenes. We'll get to The Last Jedi. But it's Halloween month, y'all. We gotta celebrate. Until then, peace.